I don't make money when I'm coming behind everybody, being the grandpa being like, hey, why aren't you calling your laser? Like I'm not making money then. But the other way, I've positioned myself to where I can do both and not stress about it.
Exactly. And I think building the relationship, I think, look, we're in a people business, guys. And I really think keeping it all automated in the beginning is fine. But at the end of the day, it has to be a person connecting with the other.
If the only times that I call you are times when I ask you, who do you know that wants to buy or sell, would you really believe that I have your best interest at heart? Probably not. And so no matter what story I'm telling, you're not believing it. And then I always leave this one for last. This is authenticity.
Thank you, Professor Barry Jenkins. You are here. Welcome. I just wanted to say this to everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to zbuyers. I know they've come here lots of times, but please tell us city and state you guys are from, because we really want to know where you're from in the comment section. So city and state, please. In the meantime, I'm going to introduce you to my good friends right here. We've got Jordan Weber from zbuyer. Hello, Jordan. How are you?
Good. How are you, Janki?
Good, thank you. And we've got my amazing friend, my first coach with another lead gen system, Barry Jenkins. Hello.
Hey,
Barry.
how are you?
Good, thank you.
I'm great. Excited to be here. I got a warm cup of coffee and Jordan's hugs to keep me warm. It's great. Everything's good.
Awesome. All right, so city and state, please. So we've got someone from Roswell. We've got obviously Jake Fry from Ventura. I'm from Fremont. Where are you located, Jordan?
Springfield, Missouri.
All right.
Right in the center of the country.
Isn't it like Missouri?
So there's two ways to say it. There's three. There's Missouri, there's Missouri, and then there's misery.
Oh, I always thought there was one way of saying it, and that's Missouri. Good to know. And everyone knows where Mr. Barry Jenkins is from, but Barry, where are you from?
Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Yep.
So we've got people here from Austin. We've got, they're rolling in. So let's talk about zbuyers, right, Barry? I want to know a little bit about zbuyers, what they're all about, and how we can, what else we can share with people here on our LCA group, and how we can educate them a little bit about zbuyers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Jordan, you'd probably be you probably have a better elevator pitch than I do. But I mean, if you want me to share what I think, if you want me to tell them what your company is, I will.
But I'll say something. You tell me if I'm wrong, Barry. I'll let you jump in.
All right.
Pretty simple. We generate buyer and seller leads. We're a lead generation company, but we focus on pre-MLS, capturing people early on. We want to get the lead as soon as they've shown interest. Because the earlier we can capture them, the amount of competition from other agents, from other lead platforms, it's minimized as much as possible. So we're a lead generation source, but we're finding people that are interested in understanding their options. They're interested in building a relationship as they go through the journey of being transaction ready. Our leads are not referrals. These aren't 30-day closings. These are realistically 3, 6, 12 months out. And they're people that are there to be nurtured. They're people that we want agents to build relationships with, educate them on what's the best option for them, what's the best timeline for them. So that's what we do. We generate buyer, seller leads, but we offer a lot more than that. We have our bonus databases that we put in place. We have some safety nets like we're month to month, no contract. We'll replace bad leads that you receive. We have a limited exposure. So lots of little things that go into our service, but they all kind of incorporate into what we're talking about today as a team leader or as a broker. What are you doing to hold your agents accountable?
Exactly. Now, I like what you just said is that, how are you holding them accountable? Keyword here is accountability. All of us I'm a team leader for my team, and I hold my ISAs highly accountable, Barry, because we do role plays once a week, and we want to focus on what are they saying. We also listen to the recordings. Are they actually building the relationship with the lead? Not converting right away. We want to ask them, come from curiosity, ask them questions. Don't just say, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? Obviously, they're going to say, you know what? No, I'm just browsing. How many times have we heard that, Barry?
Oh yeah, I've heard it a ton. And yeah, and Jordan, and from my perspective, an agent's perspective that buys zbuyer, I think it's different because you're just buying like X amount of leads for whatever the rate is. It's not like a big plan with lots of different, it's just like, oh, do you want leads for sellers? Okay, here. It's very transactional and simple in that regard. So it's actually really refreshing. And I think there's different ways. I know for a lot of people, when they hear the word accountability, they probably assume what we mean is someone in management, making sure that the people on the team are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's true. And that is management, and accountability. But there's other uses and methods for accountability that I have found, because I'm focused on my team sells 850 homes a year, but it's my side hustle now. I've promoted myself within my company so that I could go do something else. And so, for me, having a team that doesn't need daily management was really important to me. So then when I get a zbuyer lead, for example, I send it to Callingly still. And what Callingly does is it calls all my agents. If it's a seller lead, it calls all of the agents that are good with seller leads. And whoever answers and presses 1 first, Callingly then calls the lead. And so the agent's on the phone, flying completely blind. They don't know what kind of lead it is other than the lead source. They have the person's name and one other data point. They haven't even looked at all. So there's a lot of rich data when zbuyer generates a lead. They don't look at any of it, Jordan. I'm sorry to break your heart, but like they get the call and they're freaking out. They're like, what do I say to this person? And I think that confusion in like sincerity, I think that's one of the reasons that our agents are doing really well with zbuyer, because they're, first of all, because of that technological process, they're the first to call. We're calling within 5 seconds. Okay, so we're like 100% the first person to call.
I want to throw something in here before I forget it, because we're talking about accountability, but I think there's 2 sides of it. There's one, like you were saying, the management, the oversight, the hand-holding, interaction. But then there's also the automated piece, which is your area of expertise, Barry. You've built in accountability to ensure that these leads are contacted quickly through automation. So there's 2 sides of the accountability here, and there's one that you've created that doesn't require your involvement.
Exactly. And the process by definition holds the agent accountable, because if they don't answer the phone and press 1, that's on them. They're accountable with the results or the lack of results. But the key thing here as the team owner is I'm not losing money as a result, right? By sending it to everybody, I'm not like, oh, well, you made a mistake. Well, hopefully we'll do it better next time. I'm still making money, whether you're going to do what you need to do or not. And that's the position I always want to be with running a team. I don't want to need my agents.
And that's exactly what you have built up, the automated system where I'm headed now. But what we have right now is the ISAs that are dialing, and we have them lined up all different hours of the day. We have 3 ISAs, all of them lined up different hours of the day. So they're coming from 8 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m., right? And that is, for me, automation, because I have someone right there that is going to, it's a live person. We do live transfers all the time. And who do they transfer to? That's the management piece that you're talking about. They're not really there always to answer calls, but they are my director of ops, right? My director of ops is the one who takes the call. Assistant director of ops takes the calls, right? So there's a live transfer. We always say Janki's in a meeting, but let me get your information and I'll certainly have a call you back in the next 1 hour. because that's what I do. My system is very different from Barry's.
Yeah, well, and what I love about all this is we start with us, we're buying the leads, and then we come up with a way that makes sense for our business and our lifestyle that realizes our goals.
Exactly.
So by putting the agent in the right place at the right moment to call the lead, that's how they're able to then use that grainy script that I've been referencing. And I honestly think that that's a big part of why we get so many appointments. So I would encourage everyone to have two kinds of accountability, as Janki has already referenced, because I feel the first one of being like, by default, if you don't answer the phone, you're accountable, you don't make any money, right? I make money when my accountability works that way. I don't make money when I'm coming behind everybody, being the grandpa being like, hey, why aren't you calling your lady? Like, I'm not making money then.
Mhm.
But the other way, I've positioned myself to where I can do both and not stress about it.
Exactly. And I think building the relationship, I think, look, we're in a people business, guys. And I really think keeping it all automated in the beginning is fine. But at the end of the day, it has to be a person connecting with the other. We got to make that connection. Now I see lots of questions here. Scott's question, Barry and Jordan, is how many agents are the leads sent to?
Great question. So we have a limited exposure. We sell leads on a countywide basis. So we're not isolated to a zip code or a city. It's countywide. A lead could never go to more than 6 members at a maximum. We see, though, oftentimes it's much less than that. And if you go onto our website and you're looking at pricing for every single county, we'll show you what we call the area statistics. So how many buyers and sellers are available, price points, what the time frames to buy or sell was. And we'll also show you how many other agents are in that county. So you step into it knowing exactly how many other agents could receive the same lead.
Awesome. Of course, you guys, there is a link there for zbuyers, zbuyers.com/LCA to get some more information. Barry, there's some more questions here. I think it's for you. I would like to know the process of the automated system. Is it Calendly?
Oh, callingly. So like phone
Okay.
call, but INGLY.
Okay.
It's just like a lead distribution
Yeah.
service,
Yeah.
but it's through phone. That's the key.
And then we replace that with our ISAs. They're the ones who, do all this. But let's get back to building the relationships, right? As a team leader, how do we do that? How do we actually hold our agents accountable? Barry, do you have a system where you hold your agents accountable?
Yes, I have lots of them. I also have 5 ISAs. And so for me, my ISAs aren't as good as my agents. This is just from my group. They're really good, but they're just not as good. And so we've lowered the expectation of the result. I just want them to find a living person that wants to buy or sell a home and wants to talk to an agent, like transfer it, get it out of it.
And set
Yeah,
that
just set the phone appointment. Yeah.
That's exactly what we do.
But then the agents, I'm measuring appointment met.
Yes. Appointments converted.
Exactly. I want to know who is getting that FaceTime with the appointments that we're setting. For that, I have a lot of technology working in concert to be able to realize my personal goals. I mainly use, it used to be called Octum. It's about to have a new name called Maverick. I don't think I was supposed to say that, actually. Oh, well.
I like the new name.
Yeah. And then there's Sisu as well. And the two work kind of work on and focus on different things. But all of those things, there's no manual data entry. The agents are just working, and our CRM integrates 2-way. We use Follow Up Boss. The result is I have all my metrics for all my team super dialed in, and I can then look at trends for my business.
And that's exactly what we have, but we don't, and Sisu is something Justin's been talking to me about, but one of the ones that we use too, Follow Up Boss and Chime, Those two are the
Oh, yeah.
ones that do amazing automation. But in building relationships and going back to Z buyers, what I think, we always, Jordan, say, oh, we want leads, we want to buy leads, we want to buy leads. And the lead generation company itself, they're not realtors. They just provide leads. It is our job as realtors to really focus in and dial in our systems to make this happen. Whether you're a team leader or an agent, what is your system? I always say, Barry, systems, tools, the best way to leverage yourself, systems, tools, technology, and obviously, making it happen all is your process. What is your process?
Right.
If you don't have that, then you got to go back and write your process down. I struggled with it for years. So when it comes to building that relationship, my ISAs know exactly what to say when that lead comes in. They know how to convert it. And we don't at the first call just try and convert it. If it is a live transfer, that's a different thing. We do transfer it out live. But if it's not, then you got to set that phone appointment. And then you got to, just like a doctor's office, Barry, they give you a call 24 hours prior to the phone appointment, right? Mm-hmm. What are we doing as realtors, or what are our assistants doing to actually, confirm that phone appointment? And then our realtors' jobs is to convert. And that's where we hold them highly accountable.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where the role play comes in. What to say, when to say, how to say it, how many times to ask certain questions.
Right.
And educate them. Yeah.
It's really good. Really good. Very, very clear. I know my process was very unscientifically created. It's if it was annoying, if I made a mistake or I didn't want to do it, I either hired someone or bought something to where I didn't have to do it anymore. And after 7 years, I worked myself out of several jobs because everything just keeps. So just start real small. And it doesn't feel like you did anything when you do it. But if you this is very different, Jordan. What I just said is very different than me saying, find the top agent in the country and copy what they're doing. I didn't say that.
Right.
I said, what's broken for you, what's annoying for you, what you forget about for you. And then, so that you're doing what you need to do. That changes how you shop for technology when you look at it that way too.
Exactly. And that's where the leverage piece comes in, Jordan, as well. So when it comes to building that relationship with the lead, that's where leverage comes in. And people and realtors have to understand that you got to leverage yourself eventually if you want to grow, and getting leads and expecting them to close like this in 2 months, 3 months. Good luck to you. Because guess what? They're always going to say they're browsing. How do you convert that? That phrase that say they're browsing to, I'm ready to buy, sell, or invest in real estate with you only, with the very Jenkins team or with Janki Patel team. How are you making that happen? It's the questions you ask, or your ISA asks, or your realtors ask. As a team leader, my goal is to make sure that there are role play sessions in place. Now, I don't do the role plays. My director of ops does that because that's her job. Part of her job is to do role plays. Even when market shifts, she should be knowledgeable about the market. So you always have to have that captain, the co-captain, and then you take it out from there. What do you think, Barry?
No, yeah, you definitely need, I think, a director of operations. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think that would go a long way. I also think that teams and agents, it's actually a cliche for salespeople to complain about the leads. I don't know if other people on the webinar know that, but it's a joke. It's like, that's what they do. Yeah. And so, from my perspective, you want to listen to your agents, and you want to stop complaining about the agents. If you're a team owner, you want to stop complaining about the leads. If you're an agent, individual agent. And what you need to do is you need to think like, if you're a team owner, you need to think like your agents. If you're a individual agent, you need to think like the consumer. And so as a team owner, I'll just tell you, like, I hear it a lot, like agents complain, team leaders complain about their agents a lot. And, they're not working hard enough, yada, yada, yada. Honestly, I'm more of like a solutions oriented. I'm just like, let's just get it done. And so I had to create accountability measures that were relevant to my agent. Meaning, like, for example, we use text messaging a lot.
We do.
You just met with John Smith at 2:00, reply back 1 if it was a good appointment, 2 if it wasn't.
Right.
Reply, like I just need you to respond to a text message. So instead of complaining about the agents not responding to the notes in the CRM, I'm like, okay, how can I just,
Exactly.
figure this out?
Automate.
And
Yeah.
exactly.
Automate. I love that part because what we do here is totally different from what Barry does, yet we're all seeing the success. It's what works for you. You want to automate it, go for it. I have been hands-on so long. Now I'm not, I'm hands-off. My automation comes from people. Who's that? My director of ops, her assistant, and we have about 15 to 18 VAs, including
Wow.
our ISAs, and all of them is my automation. We have people in place, not technology. Eventually, we might go technology route, but for now, I like the people route because, again, it's the connection. Even with and who do I have as an agent? One, that's my daughter, my co-captain, my business partner, my daughter. And me and her are, really, and then we're very comfortable with that right now because what our goals are and what other companies we're growing out, this really helps because we have the technology in place, we have the tools in place, we have the leverage piece in place. And, another thing I also want to say is how to keep the team all in one CRM system. Well, guess what? Besides the notes, my entire team is the ISAs, right, Barry? And they're the ones who are running my Chime. My database managers are the one running the Chime system. So it's all automated. Everything is set and ready to go. So when a lead receives an email or a text message, they reply back. And who replies back to them? My admins, my ISAs, my director of ops picks up the phone and calls them, right? So I don't always have to be there. So you've got to, as a realtor, understand if you want to grow in this business, you got to put some automations in place.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, technology automation or people automation, you got to set it up.
Yeah. Yeah. They're both important.
Absolutely.
Question for you, Barry, because
Yeah.
one thing we hear quite often, and I'm kind of surprised how much we hear it, but talking to larger teams or brokers, they say, hey, I'm using Follow Up Boss and I want my leads to go here, but I've also got some agents using Lion Desk. So can we send some of them over here? And I've got a few agents on Chime and I've got a few agents using this. What are your thoughts to that, Barry?
So your CRM should be the place as a business that you find peace.
Yes.
Because the filtrations set that you set up, whatever system you're using, should quiet the noise and allow you to focus on the right thing. First of all, if you have multiple CRMs, nothing's quiet. Nothing's quiet. It's very confusing. It's convoluted. And then secondarily, and I would think actually more important, is that I don't have eyes on everybody. And so, look, everyone does better when they have a measure of accountability. Everyone does better. And we as humans, we just love taking the easy path, the least resistance. And so I think that scenario, I would be willing to bet that it would be a brokerage. And the broker in question, in your example, is exploring giving leads to his agents. But because his agents aren't like needing him the way that a team leader, they depend on a team leader, he doesn't have complete buy-in. What he should do is he should say, all right, I know all you guys are on these different systems. I'm letting you know, if you want my zbuyer leads, you're going to be using XYZ CRM so I can measure what you're doing and you're not doing.
Exactly. Return of investment is very important, Barry. In anything you use, you got to see results. Now, I'm not saying immediate results, but you got to have one place where you're seeing results. We've got Chime and we've got Follow Up Boss, but we are very, very careful of what leads go in which funnels, right? Which CRMs. And we want to keep track of our accountability. And that's how we do it, because I want to make sure that whatever lead generation system I'm using, I see return of investment, basically,
Well, no, yeah, absolutely. But also you having an ISA team and then agents, to me, that's a different discussion completely.
Exactly.
You know, but you know, anyway, were you going to say something, Jordan?
No, I'm just along for the ride.
Well, this webinar obviously is being recorded and will be available on our YouTube videos, you guys, our YouTube channel videos. I'm still on vacay mode. And the link is right there. But guess what, you guys? We're also having 10% off the first month exclusively, only for LCA, you guys. So obviously the link is right there. All right,
Real
I'm done
quick,
with my.
Jake, this is my fault. I should have told you, but I got it changed to 20%.
Oh,
For the rest of
20%.
the week,
Okay.
Labor Day coming up. So doing a special.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yeah. So
Okay.
same link as always, but it'll be 20% this time whenever you go through the process.
Sorry, guys. More discounts. Sorry about
There we
that.
go. 20%. Awesome. Anyway, you guys, okay, so we discussed a little bit more about, you know, how a team leader can actually hold their agents accountable. Barry, are you doing anything different or unique to hold your, you know, your team members accountable?
Yeah, so I use Octum, and you set up rules within Octum and to look for certain things. Like one of the big ones is the lead contacted us through call, text, or email, and the agent hasn't gotten back to the person within 2 hours. And so we set up a rule, and believe it or not, like 10 to 20 times a day, we've got all these people. So we click a button, and all 20 of those agents are notified in a note. Hey, we need an update on this lead. A tag is added, which then puts the lead in a specific list. My agents have 4 lists that they work through every day. And the third list says nudged by Barry. And it's all the leads that we found, because I've got a bunch of scenarios that we have the system looking for, and you just click nudge, 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 nudge. Basically, that nudge button does what a full-time lead manager would be doing. Like, hey, you know, you missed this good opportunity. Somebody just obsessing about it.
So instead of the word nudge, we use nurture, or
perfect.
we use you know, Janki's leads or Janki converted or something like that, you know, in our CRMs.
Yeah, that's great. Billy's got a really good question.
Yeah.
I didn't give you my info. What do you say to a lead that says that?
My ISAs basically just say, well, not a problem. You know, obviously there's a script, but we say, well, great, not a problem, but you're here now. Let me ask you this question. Even if you were not browsing, let me ask you this question. Who do you know that might be looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 6 months? If not you, and you didn't enter your information, that's fine. Now that I have you on the call here, I totally, first obviously apologize. Well, sorry for calling you, apologize. And then take it from there. What do you do, Barry?
Well, let me change his question to highlight the answer a little bit. So instead of saying, I never put my info in, I didn't request anything, this was a mistake. What if they were to say to you, you're saying my name wrong? Totally ridiculous. I'm not going to talk to you. You're saying my name wrong. I'm hanging up the phone.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't spend 10 minutes talking about why their name is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You would spend 10 minutes talking about something else, because talking about the fact that you're saying their name wrong is like, why are we here right now? Right? We need to move on. And so this question, you just got to move on from it. So, you never put anything in. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, looks like here you were looking at home value for 123 Smith Street. Is that right? Just carry on.
Exactly. Acknowledge the question, acknowledge the concern, and then just move on from there. Hey, by the way, who do you know that might be looking to buy, sell, and let's say, if not you, then who? Right? If not you, and you're saying you didn't put your information there. If not you, then who? And
Yeah,
I'll
I think
continue to put them on a smart plan.
That's a great advice, Janki. And I think that people need to stop being surprised that when you call the prospect, they give a reason that they don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I think that we just need to accept that this is normative behavior in our culture. This is what we do when salespeople call us. So we need to stop being nervous about it, and we just need to carry on with the conversation, right? So, oh, okay, makes sense. You didn't put your info in. So looks like you were looking for your home value, right? I went right to it. I didn't give you info, Barry. I don't know why you're calling me. Oh, got it. Okay. So the notes here say you were looking for a home in Virginia Beach. Were you looking for a 2-story or a 1-story?
Exactly.
Right. Like, just keep it moving, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't have the conversation about whether or not they did X, Y, Z or didn't do X, Y, and Z. That's not going to get you what you need anyway.
Because
So
what
just
you
acknowledge
focus
it and
on,
move on.
because what you focus on expands, right? If you focus on that one question, you're going to continue to fail at it. You just got to keep on going. Don't focus on that one question. Just keep on going. Obviously, there's scripts for everything, but I always tell my ISAs, the more, and we obviously, Barry, that we do have an ISA company as well, that we train our ISAs, our VAs from there on for realtors. But just to let you know, we don't follow the script, Jordan. When it comes to accountability, when it comes to role plays, when it comes to boot camps, we do not focus on the script. We take keywords out of the script and we have a conversation with the lead. Because if you're going to focus on the script, you're going to sound so scripted. And we don't want that. We want it to be a natural conversation. If they're going to say, I'm not looking to buy right now, I'm looking to buy in 6 months. Okay, let me set a phone appointment up with you for Janki so she can discuss, educate you, guide you, and share market knowledge with you. Janki doesn't know what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
Right.
Right. So why would you set that appointment? The lead has completely told you, I'm not looking now. What do you do then? Right.
Right.
So if this, then that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm obsessive about database growth. We've got 155,000 people in our Follow Up Boss account right now. And because I see that as being my nest egg, my retirement, my future. Yeah. And what I like about zbuyer is when I get a seller lead, I get the home address automatically populated. So now I can send it to Ylopo HomeBot. I can send it to all these different services. And then the prospecting list, we actually, to your point, Janki, hired a VA that logs into our platform. And these are just like I'm going to call them the leftover leads. I know that's not what they say, but that's what I'm going to call them.
No, that's exactly what they are.
Well, we crush it with those. Nobody's calling those.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's two pieces there. One, most people aren't going to take the time or put someone in place like you have, Barry, to go pull out those leads so you can automate them and work them. The other piece is the majority of agents that we're working with, frankly, don't have systems in place that can nurture 6 months, 12 months, 18 months out. The thing is, though, these prospecting leads, they're anywhere from a month to 2 years old.
Right.
Online leads, statistically are somewhere in that 6 to 12 month range is kind of the sweet spot. These leads have already hit that. They've matured. They're, the fine wine that's aged. So there's a lot of immediate gratification there, whereas the real-time leads, you're starting that nurturing process, that relationship building. It's a different approach.
Yeah, look, absolutely.
Online leads in general, Barry and Jordan, is a total different, ball game. I mean, you have your referrals and your past clients; those are immediate, right? But if you're looking for really to nurture, to grow your database for your future, online leads is the way to go. We've got about 11,000 in our CRM, Barry. We're nowhere close to yours, and of course we've got another 5 in our follow-up. So we're getting to a point where this is retirement, because guess what? They're on drip campaigns. They're getting information from us. They get AI requests from us all the time. We're chatting with them. They're not ready to buy yet. But guess what? When they are ready to buy, who are they going to call?
Ghostbusters. Wait, sorry.
Barry Jenkins, or they're going to call, obviously, another Ghostbuster right here. So I think it's so important to make sure that it's not immediate results all the time with online leads.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I guess Radoslav just noticed that the percentage changed.
There you go, 20%. All right, awesome. So relationship, at the end of the day, it's all about building relationships, Barry. That's all I can say. I know once upon a time I struggled with online leads, and who did I go to? Ghostbusters right there. That's the ghost that I was always going to. Barry, help me, this is not working. How do I do this?
Right.
And here I am,
The teacher.
and not the teacher yet, always in learning. But here I am, just learning
Yeah.
what I've learned over the years.
Absolutely.
With online leads, you just have to be patient, because once it's a role, it's a real big time role.
Absolutely.
And when we talk about leverage and automation, I've been sick, I've been here on vacation, but guess what? We put 5 in pending this week. And how did we do that? All leverage, because we've got a team that's already set up, that is, working with our clients, giving the
Right.
concierge of key services, And that's what-
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, Jordan, I think we got in trouble for going too long last time. Jake was really mad at us.
Let's not do it again. And I don't know if I can afford to like the discount grow another like 10, 20% in another 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and end it here.
I mean, the
All
leads
right.
are like, are you allowed to say like what one lead normally costs?
$15.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Seller lead, $15.
Like, that's just like,
That is, yeah. And
Yeah.
Mark's, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so like let's go on that a little bit further. Say you spend $500 with us. Whenever you start, immediately, like 2 seconds after you hit checkout, you've got 1,000 prospecting leads sitting in your account.
those are the things that I like.
Imagine 1,000 aged buyer seller leads just sitting there waiting for you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, actually, that's really, really good.
I'll bet you Janki's going to have one of her VAs start to do that like right after this call. Did you already tell him? You already told him.
I just got a message from Janki. Let's connect.
But this is what success looks like. Okay. We don't have a problem with too many ideas. We'd have a problem with execution.
Exactly.
And so that's great that you're able to execute so quickly, Janki.
Oh, thank you, Barry. I learned it from the best, obviously. Though my Ghostbuster right there, Mr. Barry Jenkins. Mark had I think a question or just something he's saying. I'd like to be sure I get a copy of this recording. So yes, it will be available on YouTube pretty soon, right, Jake?
It's on YouTube. It's on LabCoat's Facebook page. We have a private zbuyer mastermind. There's like 4,000 people in there. You can find it in there.
Is it in the metaverse?
It's everywhere.
There you go.
Metaverse, universe, the Optiverse.
There you go.
All of
All right, good.
All of the verses. There you go.
All of them.
Well,
The
Jake,
verse.
we don't want to reverse. We want to go forward, We
Yes.
want to keep it in the future. Again, online leads is all about the future, you guys. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, Professor Barry Jenkins. And obviously, Jordan, thank you so much for your time and to connect right here for the first time. Actually, we were supposed to connect 2 weeks ago, but we didn't, but we will connect soon. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.